Time now for the Crusaders TV Player of the Week, and for the final week of December and into the first week of January, it is Crusaders forward Ryan Kruper. 4 games played and 7 points. Ryan, you ended off the 2015 calendar portion of this season with a really good victory in Spruce Grove. Unfortunately, couldn't follow it up on Saturday to begin the new calendar year, to begin 2016. But just talk about the 2 big wins you guys got in the final week of December against Lloydminster in overtime, and then on the second half of that, home against Spruce Grove.
Well, I think all 3 of those games we played really well. I mean, we lost the middle game to Spruce 2-1, but I think we played really well that game too. I mean, the bounces didn't go our way, but when we went back to Spruce, the bounces started to come our way a little bit, and we ended up winning that game. And the Lloyd game, I thought we should have probably won before overtime, but we ended up clutching it out in overtime and finishing it off, which was good. And it would have been nice if we would have won on coming back after Christmas, but didn't have the legs there and couldn't quite make the comeback.
Let's quickly go to that Lloydminster game again. How big was it to get a victory against them in your own building, because they've played really great, and almost was the same scenario from the second game when they beat you guys 2-1 in overtime in that third period in the 5-4 win?
It was a lot better to finish it off with a win rather than the loss in overtime, and I mean, I thought we played really well that game. I mean, we let them back in a little bit and let them get it to overtime, but I think we came in strong at the end and finished it off in overtime, which was big for us.
And for you, from the time away that you had from your line mate Tyler Maltby, you continued to produce points along with Cameron Brzezinski. What was it like in not having Tyler in the lineup for those couple games?
It was a little different, but I mean, I think I started the year off not playing with Maltz, and I think me and Cam have played almost the whole year together, and we seem to produce with Maltz is there or not. I mean, obviously I think it's better to have him there, but without him I think we can still manage to produce, and we're happy to have him back at least. Though.
What were the differences in the wins and losses against Spruce Grove the last 3 straight games you played against them? 1 win, 2 losses. What do you figure maybe wavered from the 3-1 victory that you guys got to end off 2015 and then into 2016?
I think the first game we played against them when we lost 2-1, we had a really good defensively strong game. I mean, I think we just needed to finish our chances in that game, and I think it could have went the other way. Our second game when we won the 3-1 game, we played really well. We started off really strong, which gave us a boost, and came up with a couple goals in the first, which was good, and that gave us the confidence, I think, going into the rest of the game to win that game. And I think coming back from the break, I'm not sure the legs were 100% there yet, and I think as the game went on, we got better, but our start wasn't good enough, and unfortunately, that going down 3-1 after the first, we couldn't come back from that.
Tough hole to climb out of. This week you get Whitecourt on Wednesday, and then a weekend double dip in Fort McMurray against the Oil Barons. Always a tough trip when you do that. But looking ahead to Whitecourt, what is it like for a player being in those games where it seems like it's a fun game to watch for the fans, maybe not so much for the coaches, because it seems more wide open than when you play a Lloydminster or a Spruce Grove?
I've always found the Whitecourt games are more high scoring. I mean, they're a talented team, and I think between the two of us we got a lot of offense, and when we play them it's always kind of a back and forth kind of game, and it's always been a battle between the two of us, and it's always fun to play in. I mean, I really enjoy playing their team, and it's always a battle, but I mean, it's kind of nerve-wracking at the same time.
I can imagine for Coach Fraggle and the rest of the staff as well. And then Fort McMurray this weekend, we mentioned a tough trip, no matter where they are in the standings. What will be some keys for your team going up against the Oil Barons twice in the Casman Center?
I think it's always a good idea to have our feet moving. I think that's probably the most important thing for us is after that first game to keep our feet moving and get going a little bit here after the break. And for me, I've always loved playing at Fort Mac. It's one of my favorite rinks in the league. They always have a good atmosphere there, and I think going up there, just have to manage to get the bus legs out early in the game, and I think as long as we do that, we'll have a good chance of winning. And
a big week for you over the holiday break, and just this past couple days deciding to commit to RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. And in the NCAA, Chris McKay is going there. Former teammate Damney Smith is there right now. Talk about committing to that program.
Well, they started talking to me about a month ago, and I mean, I flew down on, I think, the 29th, and I had a really good time when I was down there. I mean, the school for me is almost perfect because I can take an engineering program when I'm down there while still playing hockey, which really works out well for me. And I really enjoyed my time down there, so I thought it was a good idea to commit to that school, and I think it's going to be a great experience.
Oh, we'll definitely be looking forward to that down the road. Ryan Kruper is the Crusaders TV Player of the Week. In his last 4 games, he has 7 points. Crusaders home to Whitecourt on Wednesday, on the road Friday and Saturday in Fort McMurray. Ryan, good luck this week.
Thank you.